He who does not know how to look back at where he came from will never get to his destination. The righteous man pays the sinner's bill. Genius knows no country. Genius sprouts anywhere. Genius is like light, air. The patrimony of everybody, cosmopolitan like space, like life, like God. The youth is the hope of our future. Filipinos don't realize that victory is the child of struggle, that joy blossoms from suffering, and redemption is a product of sacrifice. To laugh is to be among men, and to be among men is to struggle, a struggle not only with them but with oneself, with their passions, but also with one's own. No good water comes from a muddy spring. No sweet fruit comes from a bitter seed. On this battlefield man has no better weapon than his intelligence, no other force but his heart. He who would love much has also much to suffer. No one blames a pilot who takes refuge in port when the storm begins to blow. It is not cowardice to duck under a bullet. What is wrong is to defy it only to fall and never rise again. The tyranny of some is possible only through the cowardice of others. Travel is a caprice in childhood, a passion in youth, a necessity in manhood, and an elegy in old age. The glory of saving a country is not for him who has contributed to its ruin. It is a useless life that is not consecrated to a great ideal. It is like a stone wasted on the field without becoming a part of any edifice. To be happy does not mean to indulge in foolishness. Virtue lies in the middle ground. I don't see why I should bow my head when I could hold it high, or place it in the hands of my enemies when I can defeat them. The people do not complain because they have no voice, do not move because they are lethargic, and you say that they do not suffer because you have not seen their hearts bleed. I die without seeing dawn's light shining on my country. You, who will see it, welcome it for me. Don't forget those who fell during the nighttime. I can concede that the government has no knowledge of the people, but I believe the people know less of the government. There are useless officials, evil, if you like, but there are also good ones. And these are not able to accomplish anything because they encounter an inert mass, the population that takes little part in matters that concern them. I honor the father and his son, not the son and his father. Each one receives a reward or punishment for his deeds, but not for the acts of others. For myself, I think that one wrong does not right the other, and forgiveness cannot be won with useless tears or alms to the church. Dying people don't need medicine, the ones who remain do. Let us not ask for miracles. Let us not ask for concern with what is good for the country of him who comes as a stranger to make his fortune, and leave afterwards. It is not the criminals who arouse the hatred of others, but the men who are honest. On this battlefield man has no better weapon than his intelligence, no other force but his heart. The glory of saving a country doesn't mean having to use the measures that contributed to its ruin. A lie among the stars is a comfortable lie. Our liberty will not be secured at the sword's point. We must secure it by making ourselves worthy of it. And when the people reaches that height, God will provide a weapon, the idols will be shattered, tyranny will crumble like a house of cards, and liberty will shine out like the first dawn. Cowardice rightly understood begins with selfishness and ends with shame. The appetite is sharpened by the first bites. He who does not love his own language is worse than an animal and smelly fish. There can be no tyrants where there are no slaves. No one has a monopoly of the true God. Nor is there a nation or religion that can claim, or at any rate prove, that it has been given the exclusive right to the Creator, or sole knowledge of his being. Each one writes history according to his convenience. Why independence? If the slaves of today will be the tyrants of tomorrow. While a people preserves its language, it preserves the marks of liberty. Genius has no country. It blossoms everywhere. Genius is like the light, the air. It is the heritage of all. Ignorance is servitude, because as a man thinks, so he is. A man who does not think for himself and allows himself to be guided by the thought of another is like the beast led by a halter. When there is in nature no fixed condition, how much less must there be in the life of a people, beings endowed with mobility and movement. I do not write for this generation. I am writing for other ages. If this could read me, they would burn my books, the work of my whole life. On the other hand, the generation which interprets these writings will be an educated generation. They will understand me and say, not all were asleep in the nighttime of our grandparents. We must win when we deserve it. By elevating reason and the dignity of the individual, loving justice and the good and the great, even dying for it. Our liberty will not be secured at the sword's point. We must secure it by making ourselves worthy of it. And when the people reaches that height, God will provide a weapon, the idols will be shattered, tyranny will crumble like a house of cards, and liberty will shine out like the first dawn.